meeting. I'm opening the Parks and Recreation Commission meeting at 7:00 p.m. Welcome everyone watching online and to all the commissioners. This.
Commissioner Bono,
Present?
Commissioner Stanek,
Here.
Commissioner Swamy, Vice Chair Butch,
Yes.
and Chair Sharon.
Here. Great, thank you so much. So first, we're going to have a ceremonial matter and presentation from the Parks and Recreation Sports and Fitness Division. Welcome.
Hi, tonight we have Alex Corvallis, who's here from the Sports and Fitness Division. Give us an update.
Yes, so you may have remembered seeing a very, very similar update last year, but I am back with even better numbers than we had last year. So I will be going over for you the youth and adult sports and fitness participation numbers for 2024, as well as sports center participation. So in 2024, for our adult fitness classes, so this is classes outside the sports center. Everything you'll see on this slide is outside the sports center. We had 1,308 participants in 2024, which is up from 835 in 2023. That's a 56%. Now, as I say that, we had quite a number of double-digit percentage increases in our division, so I will call those out for you because we're proud of them. So those classes are things like yoga, Pilates, line dance, Zumba, balance, core and more, that kind of thing. Those are largely the fitness classes held here in the Quinlan Community Center. For the youth sports, fitness and dance classes, we had 1,109 participants in things like ballet, soccer, basketball, gymnastics, volleyball, so on and so forth.
Sorry, excuse me. Are you trying to go to the next page or something? Or
No.
Just reading. Oh,
Yeah, so this would be bullet 2 of what you see on the screen there, or rather, or the second inset bullet. For youth sports, fitness and dance camps, we had 370 participants in 2024. And then for lifetime activities, classes and camps, there were exactly 7,000 participants in 2024. That includes 355 pickleball participants and 1,951 camp participants. They offer youth camps and classes in tennis, badminton, table tennis, pickleball, basketball, chess, and private lessons for tennis. And for adults, they offer tennis, pickleball, and private lessons for badminton and tennis. Okay. Now, for the sports center, for 2024, there were 117,562 member check-ins in 2024. That's an average of 2,261 per week, and that's a 21% increase over 2023. And there are, as of running the report on Friday, we have had 1,684 members. For classes offered, there are 25 fitness classes a week and over 1,300 a year that are offered for members. So Bombay Jam, boot camp, cardio, Pilates, full body strength and HIIT, strength and conditioning, TRX, yoga, and Zumba. For those fitness classes participation, there were 24,100 participants in 2024, a 44% increase over 2023. And for tennis participation, there were 115,528 tennis players served in 2024, and that's a 26% increase over 2023. So with that, and with all those numbers, do you have any questions?
I do.
do I have to?
Yeah, sorry. No, worry. So let's do 2 minutes for questions and comments.
Obviously, it's the new of the year, once again compared to last year, so my brain is a little bit foggy. But I see a rate of increase, which is wonderful. And again, as a recap, I believe these are they're not Cupertino resident, but are surrounding cities coming to our city to enjoy those amenities and to pay the fee for it, correct?
Yes, we have both residents and non-residents. non-residents. For any of the classes that you would register for here at our front office, they pay 20% more than residents.
Perfect. Do we have a graph of the difference between the two? Is it more surrounding cities or Cupertino that takes over overall?
I have not run those numbers recently.
And for the sports center, it's about 57% resident and 43.
That's nice.
Anecdotally, because I have to pay all of the instructors that teach those things, it's mostly Cupertino residents. It's definitely a majority, but I couldn't tell you an exact number. So I do have to run those rosters and look at residency every single time I make those payments.
And my last question is, do we provide, based on those numbers, do we think of an additional increase based on those numbers, knowing that we do have the X amount of
And
residents
Like, do we expect more increase
More,
next
yeah.
year?
in revenue or demand of, participation?
We always try to get more people involved, but there's so many different things that can affect it. Sometimes you have a really popular fitness teacher that moves away, and so you lose that enrollment. Or there's so many different things, issues with contracts, what have you. There's so many different things that can affect it. But we do always strive for more. Do we always hit double-digit increases? Not normally, but so that's why we're
Very good,
shouting about them right now.
thank you.
I think to your point specifically for the sports center, I believe that's about 250 more members than we had last year at this time. People have been coming. It took a long time to come out of COVID, I think, and everybody created their own home gym. Now they're coming. And what is really interesting is our personal training is off the charts. We have now a waiting list. We don't have our 3 personal trainers are already maxed out on what they can do, and we just hired 2 more. And have another one taking, so it's really, at this point now, we can't even accommodate them all. And so we do expect we will create more small group classes to address that. And maybe a better use of the old teen center downstairs for personal training and small group personal training and some private classes. So we are looking for ways to increase revenue at the sports center.
Perfect, thank you.
Commissioner Bush?
Yeah, a couple of questions. So amazing growth, I think. Overall youth or any other sports activities have gone up, particularly pickleball is added also now. So that's amazing. So good job on that. So with all the coaches and all, the type of contract, because there could be conflict of interest because they have their own private thing going on and they are here. And I mean, how do we protect ourselves so that maximum revenue is kept within us or with us? And is there any contractual requirements that you cannot do private session with players enrolled here, or what kind of oversight is there?
Are we talking about like for personal training? I'm not as.
Not just
well
personal, even the
versed in that.
group trainers, right? Group trainers.
So like,
Hey, come to me in Sunnyvale and I'll take care of you. Yeah.
they're the teachers are not like soliciting. I think I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, so
They're not
it's-
soliciting other businesses
Okay,
or excuse me, additional business within our classes. Now, do students specifically go search out that information sometimes when they really like an instructor and they go, oh, well, Cupertino, I have my class with Rebecca on Tuesdays at 9:30, but I want to take a Wednesday class too, and on Wednesdays she teaches in Sunnyvale. Yeah, they'll follow her.
okay.
I mean, that's just how that
Okay.
goes.
Okay, so it's pretty open that way and trust-based system.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, and for private, like personal training, our personal training is incredibly cheap. And so if you go to someone personally, you're gonna pay a lot more
yeah,
for them outside. And you can't get personal training at the sports center unless you're a member.
yeah,
So they can't just bring in their own clients and
okay,
have them train.
okay,
new members.
okay, so you have some oversight like
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Okay,
And on court, we reserve all those, so
Yeah.
we know what's going on the courts for a lifetime program or tennis lessons or things like
Yeah.
that, so we control their use of.
right, and then, okay, great. Second question,
I think you're out of time, but why don't we?
oh,
circle
no,
around?
2 minutes you said.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's been
yeah.
well over 2
Oh,
minutes.
but, okay, so one more question, just quick comment. I saw the Facebook was good, the recent spelling bee post is there.
But, I'm sorry.
A recent spelling bee post is there. There is, somebody has asked some question. Do we reply to them? I mean, it's a legitimate question,
I
not a.
cannot speak intelligently about the social media as that goes through the communications department in city
Okay.
manager's office, so I can't.
Oh,
I
okay,
can't
can we
speak about
take that up and make sure somebody replies to that person?
Oh, of course. Please.
The best thing to do would be to, for Hemant to inquire with
No,
the
I think
communications office regarding that.
somebody else asked the question.
Why don't we take this
Okay.
offline? Yeah, it's a. Commissioner Swami?
Oh, thank you.
I will reiterate remarkable growth. That's fantastic. I have a question about how do the instructors get paid? Is it as we have more number of people that show up? I heard that we are hitting capacity. If there are more number of people to hire more instructors, and is the pay coming based on the fees only? And if so, how does the whole process work? How can we scale that?
So we have two different types of contracts.
Yeah.
Some instructors are contracted hourly and some are contracted by percentage. That's largely due to what type of instructor they are. So for example, the contractor that runs the gymnastics program out at Monte Vista Recreation Center, they are hiring individual mini gymnastics coaches. That's not really the type of thing that we could pay on an hourly basis, so we're paying them a percentage. Whereas most of our fitness instructors that are teaching things like yoga and Zumba and what have you are being paid on an hourly basis. So for each hour that they teach class, they're making X number of dollars, regardless of how many people are in the class. So if we have more people in the class, we're getting more revenue. Whereas the percentage-based contractors are making more with more people being in the class, but those by and large are generally larger contractors that have multiple people in their organization to manage.
Is that optional for them, or is that something that the city decides whether they get paid hourly or by percentage?
That's normally a conversation we have with the contractor when we're looking to bring them on
And
board.
is it the same across different sports, or what is the range of payment? Whether it is by
If it's percentage, they are generally between 60 and 65% for most contractors.
and hourly is?
That's all of the board completely depends on what they're teaching, what their certifications are, all kinds of different things.
Commissioner Stanek?
Thank you. Thank you for telling us what the increase in members was. That was something I was looking for and didn't see it. I appreciate that. Are we doing quality checking surveys? How are we doing in the satisfaction department? Do we know?
For the Sports Center, Lifetime does their own surveys to their programs, and we do them as well as spot checking for fitness classes. It's easy to tell for a fitness class because if they have like an instructor, it will drop in it. We recently had an instructor and it went from 30 people to 8 in a couple of weeks, and so those people don't like that instructor for some reason. And so we do spot checks on for us, and I think we used to consistently do it as a department. And I think we're getting back to that. I think in COVID, we kind of got away from that and now we're bringing it all back again as we're more to normal.
Great. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. And I really appreciate the numbers and comparisons to last year. I would like to see it on your presentation because otherwise, if you're just saying it in the meeting, then if we go back to the minutes or not to the minutes, to the agenda, then all that good news is lost.
Sure.
Right. And so I think the actual charts would be helpful for us.
Great feedback. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Great, I just have a couple of questions. One is, how does these current levels, which have gone up dramatically, of course, compare to prior to COVID?
I don't have that in front of me. This was not my program area prior to COVID, so I'm sorry, I can't speak to that.
I think, my guess is it would be slightly less as far as the classes that are here, only because Quinlan used to be open later. And on the weekends, and it is no longer, because we just haven't had the participation to bring those classes back on Saturdays or
Right.
even into the early evening. So my guess would be it was less. We also used to have a different gymnastics program and lost that contractor shortly before COVID. And it's taken a while for that program. Takes a good 3 to 4 years for that to build back up. So I think we're seeing it now with gymnastics that it's finally building back up. And so Sports Center, I would say, personal training is off the charts more than it ever has been. And I think membership wise, I think it's about the same. It's slowly gotten back up to, I think over 1,600 is usually where we've been. So I think we're kind of, I'm expecting a plateau at some point soon. We'll see.
Now, I know that you mentioned members versus non-members in classes, but does that also apply for, or excuse me, residents versus non-residents, forgive me, in classes, but what about for memberships? What is the ratio there?
That's the 5740.
That is the 57-43. Okay, so 43% of our sports center don't live here, correct? Okay. Let's see, is there anything else I need to ask? Oh, yes, actually, Commissioner Swami mentioned this, which I thought was a great piece of information. It sounds like we're at nearing capacity. Is that correct for classes and things like that? Is that true?
Hearing, depends on how you want it, how you're asking about capacity. There is, like, if you look at a calendar of when, like, the dance room and the activity room are available, are there more time blocks available? Yes, but the problem is whether or not the people in our community are available at those time blocks, state classes. So it's kind of an invisible barrier of, you can try to offer a class at a specific time, but if people just don't want to, if they, for example, don't want to take their yoga class at 3 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon because they're picking up their kids from school, they're gonna sign up, and so we're not gonna offer a class at that time.
Thank you, that's really helpful. All right, I'm all set, and thank you so much for coming in, we really, really appreciate it. This has been very interesting, and congratulations on your significant increases in the usage of the sports center. You too, Jen.
Yes, I am not the coordinator that oversees the sports center, so she should get all that. I just made a PowerPoint. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna move on to approving our minutes.
I think.
I have a.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, go ahead.
I have a clarification on the minutes on page number 9. I see the question had asked, it says, Commissioner Swami requested clarification on whether or not the city is looking at photovoltaic as a key benefit for income generation. I don't believe that's what I asked. I said that for the extra amount that you're trying to generate as income, is income the primary reason, not the entire photovoltaic? I'm very much in favor of photovoltaic for the part that we need for Cupertino. It's only the extra.
Sorry, what page, Commissioner Swami?
Page number 9.
It only goes to 8.
I
Like, oh, you mean in your packet?
in my packet.
Sorry, give me 1 second.
Because the way I'm reading my comments, it just feels like I'm coming across against it. I'm not at all against it. I'm very much for it. I'm only specifically asking about the extra generation of the energy. And I want it to be accurately reflected.
Sorry, page 8 on mine is not the same as you.
Packet that you sent us on PDF, I'm opening it on the browser. And the page number says 9 on the package at the bottom.
Okay,
It's your attachment that you sent us.
Yes, yes, I'm pulling it up right now. Okay, so what would you exactly like for it to say?
I'd like you to say that Commissioner Swami agrees, accepted the value of it for the generation of energy for the requirements of Cupertino and was referencing for the extra energy generation as to what the benefit was it primarily economic
Gotcha, okay,
or income generation?
okay,
So it needs to be clearly stated that I am very much in favor of it for the city of Cupertino.
okay. In which paragraph are you referencing?
Commissioner Swami requested whether or not the city is looking at photovoltaic as a key benefit for income generation. Fourth from the bottom, yeah, yeah, only for the extra energy. Not for the one that we,
Gotcha,
I'd like you to also say that Commissioner Swami sees the value. After I said that repeatedly, I see the value of it for the requirements for Cupertino.
okay.
Thank you.
Can I have a motion?
To make a motion to approve the November 7th minutes with the amendments that Commissioner Wami made.
I second.
Could you call the vote, please? Or is there any discussion?
No.
Oh,
All right, Commissioner Bono?
Yes.
Commissioner Swami?
Yes.
Commissioner Stanek?
Yes.
Vice Chair Butch?
Yes.
Chair Sheeran?
yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Great, we're moving on to oral communication. Do we have any blue cards?
We do not have any blue cards tonight.
Do we have any written communication?
We did not receive any written communications this evening.
And, last, new business. Future agenda items that were requested by commissioners.
Yes,
We're gonna review that and then modify those recommendations.
we did this back. And we talked about, we did this twice in the agenda. There were items requested by commissioners, so our action, the recommended action is to review the future items and modify as recommended in our report. These are the future items that were added since January 11. Any item may be removed by majority vote of the commission. The most current future agenda items are staff recommendation for each of them as follows. So, in September, the update on park amenity improvements, including how often the prioritization list is updated, was added, and we recommend keeping this as a future agenda item where we're coordinating getting CIP manager Susan Michael to come to a future meeting to present on park amenity items. Do you know, so let's move along.
Maybe just review them there.
Okay, yes. Second item also added at that meeting was the information on community gardens and policies. We believe that was completed and staff recommends removing the future agenda item. Staff did present pertinent information in October when we talked about the corridor. On January 11th, review of park and lieu fees, specifically how and what they're being used for, was added. We believe that's completed. Staff recommends removing this future agenda item. Staff sent an email in July with the pertinent information, requesting feedback and questions. And again, on January 11th, discussion of the athletic field use policy was added. We believe that was completed. Staff recommends removing the future agenda item as that was also presented at a previous in February. So you want to go back and vote on them individually?
I was thinking that we would have a single motion.
Yeah.
Would anyone like to make the motion or I can make the motion?
I can make the motion.
Great.
Let's go ahead and make that part of the future business. All those items, right?
Okay, so you're making the motion to remove the items that we have already discussed in our commission meetings, but maintain the one item of updating on park amenities.
And I'll
Is that right?
second that.
Okay, sorry.
And I
Yeah.
will second it.
Okay, all right. Is there any discussion? Everybody else?
No.
I just have
Yes,
One comment, I guess it's a question is, I guess I'm surprised that we're going through this and pulling items off after, months after we've discussed them. Why wouldn't, when we actually, they're presented to us, that we have that, so say, oh, this is a future agenda item, now we can take it off. I mean, it seems to me previously we would just, once we had that discussion, it would just come off and we wouldn't have to do this review, so, oh, really vote.
I think this is how we decided to review it early on in the year, that it would be looked at in June and December, and they just be removed at those times.
I would say it would be removed when you actually complete, when you do the presentation. So once you do
And
the
that's something the
presentation,
new commission could decide in the new year, that
Yeah.
they would like to do it that way instead.
okay.
I actually disagree with.
Oh.
And the reason why is that if a commissioner in, perhaps you and I put the park and lieu fees on, and we don't feel that something that it covered everything we were hoping that would. We should be able to say, no, we want to leave it on this future agenda item list.
I think that's great. Yeah, my comment.
Instead of it just automatically.
No, that we would have that discussion on the day that the presentation is made, so
Oh,
that it's
we could
top
do
of
that.
mind when we're talking about that.
But I will leave it up to you. in the
Yeah.
future.
Thank you, okay.
The two of you.
I'll keep that in mind, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, because I don't remember at this point, were all my questions, I mean, I assumed they were.
Okay, any other discussion?
No, it's
Great,
thank you.
all right, call for a vote, please.
Yes, and just to simplify our motion, Commissioner Swami motion to modify the future agenda setting list as recommended in the staff report.
Perfect.
And Commissioner Bono seconded. All right, so we'll go for a vote. Commissioner Bono?
Yeah.
Commissioner Stanek?
Yes.
Commissioner Swami?
Yes.
Vice Chair Butch?
Yes.
And Chair Sheeran?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Great. I think as part of this item, maybe I should also call for if there are any new future agenda items people would like to add to this list.
I don't believe that's on our agenda this evening.
Oh, we can't do that?
No, no,
Okay.
yeah.
Sorry, it sounds like. It looks like that was on the agenda, it said
Future agenda is not on the current.
requested by commissioner. There's a recommended action, but it just says future agenda items requested by commissioner.
On that staff report?
On the
Or
agenda,
the agenda?
on the agenda. So I mean, that's just the name of the agenda item. So I thought we were allowed to talk about, as long as the agenda item says it.
So the subject of this item is future agenda items requested by commissioners that have already been previously added, like what's currently on the list. And then usually at the end of the meeting, after staff and commission reports, there's a header that usually says future agenda setting, and that's where commissioners can add agenda items to the list.
Okay.
But that header is not on the special meeting agenda this evening, because we're gonna have a new commission starting in February, so that commission will begin and they can add future agenda items at that time.
I will lose my power.
Thank you.
Okay, so, without further ado, yes, commission reports. Staff, you should go first.
Okay. All right, our liaison update. The new city website was soft launched in December. Transitioning to this new platform is an exciting journey for us, and we appreciate everyone's understanding as we enhance and refine the site to provide a more seamless and user-friendly experience for the residents. During this transition time, users may experience some technical issues such as broken links or pages not loading. Please reach out to our IT department at webmaster@cupertino.gov and alert us if you encounter any technical issues as you browse the new site. Since we last met way back in November, our holiday events took place. There was an estimated 400 people at our tree lighting, which was about the same amount as last year. Breakfast with Santa sold out again at 300 participants. Signing Santa had 44 participants this year, which was up 40% from last year. And another sold out event was our annual Santa visits. 47 residents enjoyed a home visit from Santa during the holidays. Glow Night Golf is next Friday, January 31st from 5 to 7:30 at Blackberry Farm Golf Course. Registration fee includes one LED night golf ball, glow sticks, and snacks. All levels are welcome. Please register at regforrec.org. And the Parks and Recreation Commission will have 3 vacancies at the end of the month. Chair Sheeran, Vice Chair Bush, and Commissioner Swamy are ending their first term. All are eligible to reapply for a second term. We thank you all for your dedication and your commitment to the City Commission. In the current term, council interviews of commission applicants is currently scheduled for Monday and Tuesday, the 27th, 28th. I believe ours are the 28th, the end of the evening. The last ones. And that's it.
Great, thank you so much. Does any commissioners have any activities from the city that they would like to?
Yes,
Understanding.
not necessarily an activity, but I wanted to commend the staff on, now the staff has taken over maintenance of the labyrinth. It is looking really great. I took a picture of it. There it is. This is after fall. In the fall, when all the leaves come down, it is covered with huge leaves. And so is the trail going through there. So fairly recently, staff went through and blew the leaves off. They also added some branches, some curved branches that fit very nicely to augment the definition there. And that's how it looks right now. So I'm really grateful that it's being maintained. There's a sign to get to it, and it's looking really good. So kudos to staff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to thank staff. I know I've applied again, but whatever happens, I just want to thank all the fellow commissioners for a wonderful time we all had together. I think we achieved few good things, or at least we were honest to our job. And we stood by what we believe. That was good. And thank you again for a very precise meetings and patience and follow-ups. Wanted to take time. Thank you, Chairman. Chairman.
I'd like to reiterate the same. Thank you so much, Jessica, and both of you. It was just amazing. Particularly Jessica keeps pinging me every time. Seema, you do coming or not coming. And I know that's very everyone is like, are you coming or you're not coming? Because even if we have responded, you keep following up the day before to finally reconfirm. I don't know if you guys got it, but I'd let you know way in advance, but you still keep asking. That's very sweet of you. Goes above and beyond the expectation. And you keep doing it again and again, and that's very sweet and very kind of you to do that. And also the fellow commissioners, I think we all together were very thoughtful, collegial, and really we agreed on a lot, didn't we? Yes, it made a difference. We agreed on a lot, on pretty much everything, a lot of issues. And we brought about a lot of changes for the betterment of the community and the residents, and I feel very proud to have made those recommendations in a very thoughtful way with the rest of the commissioners and with the support staff. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you don't mind, I will have the last word. I just wanted to mention that I did attend the tree lighting, which was great, and I had a lot of fun. But also, thank you to all of you, commissioners. I really appreciate it. It's been an honor to work with all of you, and thank you, of course, to staff. I really appreciate it. All that you've done and made this year so much easier than it could have been. So it's really nice. And we've had a lot of changes over the last 2 years together. We went from being a community hall to over to the cold place. It was so cool to hear, so it's really appreciated that you've done all that with grace and kindness to all of us. So thank you all. And I wish you guys the best with what happens here in the commission. And I'm sure it will be wonderful, the best thing for our residents here in Cupertino. So thank you.
Thank you for
And
your
good luck.
leadership.
Okay.
For your leadership.
Yes.
Just need to say one thing for the next event, for the next date. And I understand council is having 27 and 28 interviews, this, that, blah, blah, blah. But the next commission meeting is on the 5th. Well, I'm supposed to be in New Zealand, don't forget it, yeah, I'm already gone. So I'm happy to be part of that important meeting, if we can do the 3rd, 4th.
We can't move it until the new commission's been appointed.
Right.
Until we know what, so we can't do anything until
I
after.
just want to say, a year ago, I was appointed on the same day of the commission and didn't even know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
If we can do something great, because I'd like to be there.
We'll do what we can, but we can only do so.
And thank you.
All right. Well, I'm going to close this meeting at 7:36 p.m.